What's up, guys? Welcome to Transformation. My name is Patrick Leeper, and I was born without legs. I was destined to spend my life in a wheelchair, but with the right mindset and with sheer determination, I now hold 8 Paralympic track and field medals. Not stopping there, I'm now on a quest to become the fastest man alive and to inspire others to overcome their own limitations. Today, I'm talking to Steph. Born with cerebral palsy, she refused to let that hold her back from her fitness goals. Steph became a level 2 certified CrossFit coach, but now faces a different obstacle, cancer. Welcome to Transformation. Well, hello, Steph. Welcome to Transformation. I just want to say it's an honor and a pleasure to have you on this show. So welcome.
Thank you so much.
So, let's just jump right into it. I'm curious to know, Steph, what was your childhood like, growing up?
Well, my childhood was actually pretty cool. So I've grown up with all able-bodied siblings. I have cerebral palsy, so being born with CP, my life never really looked much different than my siblings did, and my parents really never treated me any different. So I've always had that outlook of, if you want to do something in life, you're gonna go get it done. So I think I've been very lucky in the fact that this is all I've ever known.
Right, I relate to your story so well. He was born with CP, I was born without legs, which was kind of the blessing when you really look at it. Did you notice any conversations of saying, this is what we're going to deal with as a unit or as a family, and this is how we're going to approach this situation?
Growing up, it was more of the fact that my parents let me be so independent that I kind of figured things out on my own. I've learned very quickly that I had to be my own advocate, and I'm sure you understand that as well. And I believe that I was born with a big mouth and a pretty face for a reason, So, and it's not to sound cocky, but you want to get things done, you gotta make them work for yourself. So
that's awesome. Would you say you was pretty active as a kid?
So when I was younger, I was pretty active with swimming and horseback riding. And then when you become a teenager, you don't really want to listen to your parents, and you don't really want to take care of yourself. And so I'd say from 15 until I was really about 19, I kind of forgot to take care of myself. And that's where the life-threatening stuff came into play, and I started actually using a wheelchair when I was probably 12 years old. And if you sit on your butt and do nothing, and you don't really take care of yourself, a lot of things are going to start to happen. I couldn't get dressed as fast, I couldn't walk as far, and so I was the one that made the decision, and from that moment on, I got a personal trainer, and then kind of sparked my interest in fitness. And so all of a sudden I kept hearing this thing called CrossFit, and I'm like, what is this? And so May 3rd of 2012, I walked into my first CrossFit gym in Boca Raton, Florida, and I fell in love with it. And it was the hardest, most grueling thing I'd ever done. I literally thought I was gonna die the day after. I looked at the trainer and I said, I want to do this. I started realizing that I was one of the first people with cerebral palsy doing CrossFit. And probably a year into it, I said, well, if I can do this as an athlete, you think I could do this as a coach? I love the fact that you see people who are completely able-bodied and you teach them how to jump rope sitting in a wheelchair, or you teach them how to snatch a bar over their head sitting in a chair, and these are things that I'll never physically be able to do. But that sparkle in their eye is pretty cool, because now it's turned from looking at somebody with a disability and going, man, I feel bad for them, to, man, I really hope they don't make me work out because I know they're gonna make me work really hard,
Yeah, that's awesome. And one thing that I've learned, in my life, and I'm sure you experienced this, is with your cerebral palsy and with my disability, people are they're kind of skeptical of how to handle our situation, right? Yeah. Can you go back to that, that first time when you walked into the, your CrossFit gym, and, was people kind of staring at you, or there was kind of question, can she actually do this?
I knew what I had wanted. I'd known what I was capable of, but are these people going to take me seriously? And we had no example of what to make of it. I had to fall on the ground. I had to pick myself back up. I had to time myself. It used to take me close to 30 minutes to pick myself up off the ground to do one burpee. Just one. But he never treated me really any different than any other athlete.
That's insane for you know, the average person, whoever, with like 30 minutes for one burpee, I'm out, I'm done. But you kept pushing and you kept fighting. Like, at any point in the whole CrossFit community, did you ever feel like giving up? And when you did feel like giving up, what did you kind of tell yourself to kind of keep pushing forward?
Did I ever feel like giving up? No. Did I ever get frustrated? Yes. And what kept me from getting frustrated? I lost one of my best friends when I was 16 years old. He was born without any arms, and he played basketball with his feet. He was quite one of the most amazing human beings on the planet, and his name was Scott. And Scott used to run around, you know, telling people, oh, you know, failure's not an option, bro, like, keep it up. And so when I would want to give up, I would honestly think about him. The most positive thing that could ever come out of the worst thing in your life is that it gives you purpose. Currently, I'm fighting cancer, and I could choose every day to give up, right? Like, I could choose every day, like, this is gonna be it. But I beat cancer about 2 weeks ago. And so every day I think about him, right? Because he didn't have a choice whether he wanted to fight it or not. He was just gone. It takes more mental strength than physical strength for anything. We joke around and say, like, God thought I had had enough of proving people with CP, so he needed to give me something else.
We get it, we get it. You're a show off. I got it, I got it. So how did the CrossFit community support you?
The CrossFit community has been amazing. You know, you don't realize the impact you have on people until you're not somewhere. And the CrossFit Games just happened a couple weeks ago, and I have been to the games for the last 3 years, and you know, people would say, well, we missed you, or, you know, you weren't there, and we could feel that you weren't there, and people are taking time out of their day and making sure that I'm okay. And so that love and support means the world. We live in a world where people see so much more hate than they do a good thing, but the power of positive thought and love and support is, if I was doing this alone, I wouldn't have beat cancer 2 weeks ago, you know, and I truly, truly believe that. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so curious to know, so what's next for you? Like, whatever you say you're gonna do, I'm gonna become a CrossFit coach. Check. I'm gonna beat cancer. That's nothing, right? What's next for you?
What's next for me personally? Hopefully a book, and hopefully success of more speaking engagements. I would love to get more of them and just spread the message of exactly what we're talking about, you know, and it's not to be cheesy and it's not to sound fake or anything like that, but positivity and love is so important, and especially now. I think, you know, we live in this world that's so quick to judge people. You know, just because the color of your skin is different doesn't mean that you and I can't have an intelligent conversation. You know, and just because you're a guy and I'm a girl doesn't mean anything different.
That's awesome. Well, when you write your book, make sure you send me a copy, because I will definitely read that. Just before we end, I just want to know, you know, after everything that you've been through, which has been a lot, what advice or words of wisdom that you would give to somebody who's facing the same obstacles as you now?
Well, I think there's one thing in the CrossFit community that always keeps me going, and it's the word RX, which is considered as prescribed, right? So when a weight is given to you or a workout is given to you, you're supposed to do it as prescribed, and you get awarded for that. Well, I always tell people that my weights may never be RX, but my effort always will be. Right? So I really believe that if people want to get things done in life, they need to live life with the most effort they can. And that's kind of how I feel.
Awesome. Steph, thank you so much. I appreciate for your time and your kind words. It's been amazing. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, see ya.
Bye.
So what I take from Steph's story is that it doesn't matter who you are, or where you come from, or what race, creed, or color, legs or no legs, it doesn't matter who you are. You just gotta take the time each and every day and just listen, and I guarantee you will learn something. Thank you guys so much for watching. If Steph's story inspired you, be sure to share the video with your friends. Don't forget to subscribe for more episodes every single week. This is Patrick Blake Leeper, you're watching Transformation, and I'll see you guys next time.